Have you guys ever been in a relationship so toxic that once you get out of that relationship, you're still dealing with the drama even though you're broken up?
No, thank you.
Apparently, we got a story about that today, and it is not from Reddit. This story was sent in from a member of the SAS Squad named Lauren. This will be a story of my last relationship, to which I broke off in May of 2024, that till today of June 2026 is still giving me problems. I'm annoyed for you already. Backstories of during the relationship and what I endured will help set the scene of present day events. Enjoy the craziness. I'm sure we will. Taking it back to 2020, when I, Lauren, 20 years old at the time, got my first residential construction job. Within the first couple of months, I slowly started falling for the blue-eyed, blue-collar dude named Colton. He was 24 at the time. Ignoring all the red flags, he had 2 kids, a 2-year-old girl, who I will censor and use K as the name, and an 8-year-old boy, who we will say is C, just to protect their identities, with 2 different baby mamas. I also ignored his drinking problem. He had a suspended license at the time due to a DUI, and 1 baby mama who, quote, only lived with him to watch their daughter. That was believable with how he answered the phone while at work and treated her. Since he couldn't drive, I would offer to pick him up from work because I lived with my parents only 3 minutes down the road. One day after work, we were hanging out inside his apartment, and Jessica, Kay's mom, came back because she didn't feel like going to work. Well, she came in, went absolutely crazy because apparently they were still together. She was yelling and then stood up on the couch and slapped Colton across the face. She then walked outside, slamming the door behind her, and drove away. The next day, she blew up my phone trying to warn me. She showed me videos of them yelling at each other, photos of bruises on her, and told me stories of how he had hurt her. I have never been in an abusive relationship, nor have I grown up in that type of environment, so I couldn't believe that someone could do that. We started talking in October. We did not officially begin dating until December 1st. 2 months later, we are looking for houses because I wanted out of my parents' house. That's a fast-paced relationship, especially after all the information you just got. I mean, I get it's hard to believe at the time what you're thinking is a crazy ex-girlfriend, but that's also scary and alarming. I love my parents. I just wanted to be a bit more independent. I've always wanted to settle down. I fell in love fast, and he had a bit of money saved up. I had a great credit score, and rent at the apartment was about to be raised, so it just made sense that we would do that. By May 3rd, we bought a house. Wow, that's quick. No judgment, just saying that's quick. As for his kids, we talked to both parents and guardians about them going to school near where we live. As for Kay, she was in a home daycare called Lily's Daycare. I had convinced her mom, Jessica, to switch her to a different home daycare that I had found that was in our new neighborhood, even walking distance from the house. Kay went there for about a year before starting preschool. At this time, custody was 50-50, but not court ordered. It was very difficult to keep the 50-50 schedule, as if we did anything to piss Jessica off, she would pull the card that she had full custody because she was the mother. Keep in mind, they have never been to court. As for his son, his mother, Alicia, wasn't in the picture much. C lived with his great-grandparents. They are saints. C was going to be starting 6th grade. So we talked with his great-grandparents and finally got them to allow Colton full custody, and then switched C going over there to his grandparents on weekends. Eventually, that would turn into every other weekend. Colton not having custody of his kids should have been another red flag. My eyesight is better now, I promise. Hindsight is always 20/20. I feel like we've all maybe been in a relationship where we ignored red flags. I, for one, guilty. As C is going into 7th grade and K is starting preschool, by this time I am mentally checked out of this relationship. This is due to the draining baby mama drama solely from Jessica and Colton's ongoing alcoholism and on and off addiction. So let's start with the baby mama drama. Within a 2-year span, I apparently gave Jessica countless seizures, nearly 1 stroke, all from whenever I texted. She did have a stroke at one, it's in quotations, I'm not just doing that, because she claimed that her left side was paralyzed. The same day that that was mentioned, since she didn't have any gas, she would have to walk her and her 2 kids to the store for food. It's a 4-mile walk in 80 to 90 degree weather, half paralyzed. Another time where Jessica really blew everything out of proportion was over a bracelet. Jessica's stepmom was going to gift Kay, who was 5 years old at the time, a Pandora bracelet. I didn't want that responsibility as I lose and break my own belongings. Well, I tried telling her this, but she was not having it. I understand how text can be taken in a different tone or context, but I feel like every time I didn't do what she wanted, she would feel like I was bashing her in some sort of way. Now, we do have screenshots of these text messages, so we're gonna check them out. Okay, so this was a text message to Colton, which is Lauren's boyfriend, from baby mama Jessica. All right, so Jessica said, I can bring her at 1:30 or 2:30, whichever is better. Lauren stressed me out on my phone. I had a seizure and almost had a stroke. I don't hate her. I am just really trying to protect my energy. This device is connected to my energy, and I've done a pretty damn good job at keeping it positive and happy the past couple of months. I've been in therapy, physical and mental, and I'm working on managing my anxiety. Once that's managed, then she can get unblocked. I don't think anyone realizes the extent of my nerve and muscular disease. I literally could stroke if I let something stress me too much. It's nothing against anybody, just gotta protect my peace, you know? I'm learning how to do that. I don't want anyone's energy to have any influence on my progress. I hope y'all really do understand that I'm not just a biatch for blocking her. I'm protecting myself and my character by healing first. Now, Colton responded and said, I do understand that. It's totally fine with me, and I'm sure Lauren will understand too. Thank you. Then this is the text messages between Lauren and Jessica about this Pandora bracelet. All right, Jessica said, my dad is going to be giving Kay a Pandora bracelet for her birthday. Megan's going to put it on, and then if you guys could just make sure it's on there every day and let me know if it's gone. It was very expensive and it is super special for her. Megan said it's not a big deal if she loses it or it breaks, but I just want to make sure we're doing everything we can to keep it safe because it will hold more meaning in the future if she keeps it. Once it goes on, don't take it off unless it's bothering her bad or causing her skin to get irritated, but it is real, so I don't think it will. She won't be able to take it off and put it on herself. Megan showers with hers with no issues. Lauren wrote back and said, we can try our best, but there's no guarantee. Personally, I don't think it's a great gift for her actually to wear every day. Maybe keep it in a jewelry box. But she's 5 and still breaks things and goes to school with a bunch of 5-year-olds. I feel like it would break with how much she'll mess with it or how much she plays. If it does break or go missing, we just don't want to be the one to blame, so it may be best for the bracelet to just stay at your house. Jessica wrote back and said, well, good thing you're not her mom and it's up to me and not you what she wears. Like I said, Megan said it wasn't a big deal if it gets lost or broken. It's only gonna fit her while she's 5. After that, it's never gonna fit her again. I was just asking if you could report back to me if something does happen to it. It's gonna go on her wrist and you're not gonna take it off. If it comes off while she's at school, that's a risk Megan was willing to take. She wears hers every day and it's really hard to get off. That was kind of disrespectful that they put all the thought and money into that gift. I was just asking you to let me know if anything happens to it. I wasn't asking your opinion of it or if it was a good gift. Nobody is going to blame you. And then Colton chimed in, because I guess this is a group chat, and said, I don't think she meant to be disrespectful. I like the idea of the gift, but it would suck if it got broken or lost. Jessica wrote back and said, I didn't ask your opinion on her wearing it because you don't have one. I didn't ask if it was a good idea or a good gift. I just said report back to me if it gets lost or stolen. Your text seemed disrespectful, and that's how I'm gonna take it. You can't just keep spitting out your opinion on everything that has to do with Kay and always jump on everything everything. The text was more meant for her father, and it's not disrespectful for me to say you are not her mom. You can be a stepmom, that's cool, but the fact is I am her mother, and that text back was just completely unnecessary. You could have just said that we will do our best, but if anything happens to it, we are not responsible. If that's the point you were trying to get across, but in the message it said, don't worry about it getting lost or stolen, obviously, that's going to be nobody's fault. We know she's a 5-year-old, but she's a lot more responsible than you think. Colton wrote back and said, okay, we will do our best, and I can't wait to see it, and I hope she loves it. Jessica said, see, that's more like it. Now, the last message, Lauren wrote a note on it and said, I did not end up sending this message. It's what my friends wanted me to, but I thought it was too mean. So what you see there at the bottom was not actually sent. She never hit send. Jessica responded back to whatever was said and said, you are a dumb biatch, and this is why I cannot keep being fake and trying to get along with you. F you, don't talk to me again. If there is anything that has to do with my daughter, I will call Colton. And he can call me. But no matter how hard I try to get along with you, it seems like you're always putting me in position where I'm having a seizure because you stress me the F out. I should have had Molly whooped your butt when I found your home-wrecking ass with my man. Were they together? Did we confirm? Were Jessica and Colton still together when you got involved? Because that was not clarified. And she was going to say, but you didn't, and now your daughter calls me mommy. Yeah, I don't know if we should be sending that. I think it was best that we didn't send that. All right, so those are the evidence of some of the text messages received. I would also like to note that Lauren did send in a lot more examples of some crazy behavior on Jessica's behalf, but the story was so long that we had to trim it down. So you get the image, you get the vibe of the situation and the relationship between everyone involved. Now on to Colton's alcoholism. The drinking was bearable in the beginning because we didn't have the kids. Well, when we moved into the house and we had the kids full time, that's when it was a problem. I should mention that he got a better construction job, a bigger commercial company, and I worked at a dealership. We had different jobs now and different schedules. He would come home from work and drink a couple beers, a couple shots, and then he would sit in the game room and play video games. Every night it was the same routine. He would press me for bedtime fun and then get mad when I would say no, then continue to drink and then would pass out on the couch until I woke him up to go get into bed. He would then miss his alarm in the morning, wake up and yell at me for not waking him up, make me get up and help him get ready by getting his clothes out and gathering up his keys, wallet, everything like that. I wouldn't be able to go back to sleep, so I would get myself ready before I have to get the kids ready for school, come home and do it all over again. He had 2 DUIs at this point, both before we were together. He had his license back and all was good. I never drank, so whenever we went out, I would drive. I would never let him drink and drive. Cinco de Mayo in 2023, he got arrested. 3rd DUI, felony. I stuck with him through the court dates, the house arrest, the 7 days in jail, the breathalyzer machine you have to put in your car to start it up, all our money down the drain. Did that stop him from drinking? Heavens no. I would get yelled at or ignored if I didn't bring home beer from the store. All of this sounds like a nightmare, to be honest, respectfully. There was a good 6 months where he stopped drinking, but wasn't sober. He leaned on for relaxation, which didn't help get the chores done either. At the beginning, I mentioned Jessica swearing left and right and that he had hurt her. During the 3 years we were together, filled with alcohol, not once did he raise a hand, a finger, or anything. The only thing he raised was his voice. That is something I grew up around, and I just hate loud voices. I cry immediately. So yes, there were a lot of tears during the relationship, but only from mental and emotional abuse. I haven't talked a lot about that. It was more manipulation and narcissistic abuse. After enduring all of this for 3 years and 4 months, after trying so hard to convince myself to leave and fail, I finally did it. It took me 2 times to leave. I tried breaking up with him and he convinced me otherwise. But finally, I knew that our last break would be forever. I couldn't go back to him, and I didn't. He cried many tears, begged on his knees, cried to my mom. My parents wanted me to give him another chance. For a whole month, they asked why I would leave my family. Why won't I go back? After a month, I finally told them. It broke my mom to not know how bad of a situation I was actually in. She couldn't believe that she missed all of the signs, the unhappiness, the unhealthy weight gain. I was miserable, but then I was free. Or so I thought. I keep forgetting that your story is about the drama after you broke up and not just during. Mind you, the day I left was May 23rd of 2024. We had a house together. Both vehicles were in my name. Half the house furniture was mine. It took months to gather my belongings. Signing the truck and the house over did not occur until December of 2024. Here are all the events that happened in between from May to December of 2024, after they were broken up. During July, 2 months after leaving, I'm in the driveway to our house. My car door is open and I'm standing behind it. He is standing in the grass in front of me, but a little to the left. Not near each other, but close enough where we could talk. We are a bit civil at this point. He moved on, it seemed, because while we were talking, a girl named Mackenzie opens up the front door to our house and yells, "Are you guys almost done talking?" He turns around and tells her to go back inside. So she slams the door shut. My eyes widened and he apologized. Not even 2 minutes later, she steps out the door and is yelling at me to leave. I told her I'm not going to as we were talking, and I said that it's my house. Well, she starts charging at me. Mind you, I can't fight. Colton has to hold her back. He's yelling at her saying, "If you're going to be disrespectful, then you can just leave." She then goes inside, slams the door, and locks the door. I end up leaving soon after. 2 days go by and I get a Facebook message from Mackenzie. She's wanting to apologize for how she acted. I thought that was nice of her. Then she asked to call me. I called her over Facebook, and the whole reason for the apology was that so she would be in my good graces for a favor. The favor in question? Allowing her probation period to be executed at my house, meaning she had gotten a DUI at the beginning of this year. They finally had a court date and she has to go on house arrest. Since she didn't have her own place of residency, she wanted to stay with Colton in our house. And since my name was on the deed, I had to sign some papers saying it was okay for her to do so. Am I a nice person? Of course. I picked her up. What? This girl just tried to literally fist fight you and now you're doing her a favor? Like a big one. Bless you, man. I mean, I get it. You're trying to do a kind thing and accept her apology, but couldn't be me. Whatever that makes me, you just tried to literally attack me. I'm good here. Good luck on your probation.
Bye-bye.
I picked her up because her license is suspended and has been for I don't know how long. She also doesn't have a working car. We drove to the building. I signed the papers, took her back, and then I got back to work. Did that favor make her nice to me moving forward? Of course not. And that's why I would have never done it. No way. Bless your soul though, Lauren. Her problem with me was that Colton still wanted me back. My problem with her is that she would call my mom to vent about her relationship with Colton. Why? I have no idea. How did she even have your mom's number? Maybe because your mom was involved with the kids and Colton and the kids and things, I'm guessing. This happened frequently, especially when he would go to jail for domestic charges. He was arrested 5 times between June of 2025 and January 6 of 2026, that being the final time. The last time was the same charge: domestic, breaking no contact, and criminal confinement. Holding her hostage, basically, even though she is the one who keeps going back. Did I believe any of this? It was hard to. Not one time did this man put his hands on me. Each and every time he got arrested, he got one phone call. A random number would pop up on my screen. It wasn't listed as spam, so I would answer. The first 2 times he was arrested, I answered. After that, we, as in my current boyfriend and I, were sick of the calls waking us up as he would get arrested in the middle of the night. We decided to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and it has been that way ever since. Now, February of 2026, his hearing is set. He asks my mom to attend, so she does. He didn't grow up with the best parents. His mom was and is an addict. His dad is an alcoholic. His mom was there, but only for a short period before my mom told her to leave for not being able to shut up. His dad was also there. However, over the last couple years, his dementia has worsened to the point that he can only read a digital clock. Mackenzie also showed up. During the trial, he confessed to everything. My mom said he cried a lot. Mackenzie tried speaking up and saying that he didn't hold her hostage, but it wasn't her choice to make. The judge needed to go over each arrest and come up with a sentence. Trial and sentencing was set for March of 2026. When that came, to my mom's understanding of what the judge was saying, his max sentencing was 6 years, a year for each felon charge pretty much. Pointing this out because it is probably being questioned, my mom is there to support him. He was in our lives for 3 years. She is a very caring person, just like myself. My mom was trying to be nice and help as much as she could, especially when it came to his daughter, Kay. Since Jessica now had Kay full-time and struggled being a mom to 3 full-time, my mom helped out with Kay. Colton lost custody of Kay through DCS because Kay wasn't allowed at the house when Mackenzie was, and she now lived there. So he never had Kay again. My mom would have sleepovers with Kay once a month on a weekend. She has taken her on trips, and even my aunt has helped out with Kay. They are all part of the family. Given how nice my mom is and how Colton had nobody else, he asked her to be his POA, and my mom agreed. Papers were signed. This was mainly to make sure the house bills were going to be paid. Right, because your name is still on the house. But Mackenzie lives there. Mayhem. I need a sip of water, so we're gonna hydrate. If you do a shot, do one for me, but let me know whatever's in your cup. Cheers. Y'all go through some crazy stuff, I just gotta say. You guys, I've had to move Lila's bed right next to me while filming today because they did fire alarm testing, and as you guys know, she'll be scared and anxious for the rest of the day. She hates the sound, so she's right next to me while I film today. Everybody say hi, Lila. It's okay. Look at all your fur, girl. It makes you look a little chubby when you have that much fur. This angle is just not doing her any favors. You're still so cute though. Lila, you're just an angel. She's like, I heard you say that I look chubby. All right, now as mentioned, 6 years is what we understood he would get. Colton's lawyer was telling him it could be less than 2. Within a month from sentencing, around May or June, he was supposed to be transferred to this reception center place in Plainfield to be evaluated and then to be placed in an appropriate prison. During all this time that he was in jail, from January to April, Colton has had a phone. I don't know why they would allow them, but he has one. It's the type where you pay per message. Well, he is still controlling people from the inside, and this is where the harassment really started with Mackenzie. By the end of March, we completely cut contact with Jessica, which were her wishes. The end of March comes where we get Kay one last time for Easter. Jessica texted me the day before on Facebook Messenger. She said she got a new number and wanted to reach out so that we could communicate for the pickup and drop off. We were informed that this day would be the last day that we would ever see Kay, which were her wishes. We got Kay for the day. She's now 6 at this point. Smart for her age, but could be smarter if she was at school. I explained that this would be the last time we see her. Goodbye hugs were given. My mom cried. She was losing her first granddaughter officially. She didn't like that, and she said so in a note that was given to Jessica. And we have said note. All right, so this is the note that was written from Lauren's mom to Jessica. Thank you for letting us have Kay one last time. Honestly, I think you are making a huge mistake by forbidding us from seeing her. She has a family that loves her very much, and you are taking that away from her. I also think you are pretty heartless for not letting her have a relationship with her brother. C loves her so much, and it's devastating that you are doing this to him as well. I hope you change your mind and allow her to talk to him. His whose phone number is blank. Please reach out so K and C can still communicate. Don't ruin that relationship because you don't like her dad. Neither child asked for that. I really hope you can be reasonable and allow K to be around us and people in general. Get her back into school where she can grow and have real friends. You are doing her a disservice by alienating her from social experiences and people. She was such a smart and outgoing little girl, and now she doesn't even speak in full sentences. Homeschooling is not good for her. Take care and have a good life alone. Just remember, karma never loses an address. What does that mean? Karma never loses an address? Oh, as in like karma will always come back around. The next day, Jessica texted me. She did not appreciate the note. I didn't think she would. It wasn't expected to be appreciated. It was written for advice that she should take. She had already blocked us on Facebook, but if you know any girl, we got our fake accounts locked and loaded. She posted the note publicly on her Facebook with a very long message. You best believe that we got into it. All right, so this is the Facebook message from Jessica after that note was received. That little letter was disrespectful and stupid. You guys wonder why I'm not gonna let you be around her. It's because you can't even be mature, nor can you treat her correctly. Telling her to lie and stuff is not how we do it. And she gets socialized perfectly fine. She goes out to field trips all the time. Thank you, next. Stay the F out of my life and my kid's life. Lauren wrote back and said, be a better mom. Jessica said, I have been. Y'all should be better people. Lauren wrote, you're a disgusting mom, not letting Kay see her brother, taking her out of school. She still talks like a damn baby at 7 years old. Good luck with the 3 kids that you still have. So now it's April 3rd. My family is in Florida waiting to board a week-long cruise. We have Colton, Mackenzie, Ken, and C, Colton's son, trying to get a hold of myself and my mom. Seems like it's serious and it's important. Come to find out, C, when removing his belongings from his dad's house, he was told that he can take the Xbox because Colton said that was okay, so he did. C has possession of the Xbox. Mackenzie tells Colton, and Colton then blows a fuse. He is now telling his son to return it, and his son said that Colton, said he could have it for his birthday. Colton said no, and that he would give him $200 for his birthday. Imagine fighting like over this Xbox with your son. Are you in jail still? Are you arguing from jail about this Xbox? What's it to you? You can't use it. So since my mom is the POA, everyone is calling me to get an answer from my mom on what to do. I tell them that we will handle it when we're back from vacation and just keep it for the moment. It's not like Colton can use it. And at this point, C is showing me the messages that he is receiving from his dad, Colton, and Mackenzie, all while he's at a sleepover just trying to celebrate his birthday. So I told him to just block both of them if they won't leave you alone, and we will just deal with it later. I texted Mackenzie to stop texting C, to tell Colton to shut the F up about the Xbox or I'll smash it myself and we will handle it when we're back from the cruise. That is when Colton tried to call me. I don't answer. Then he calls my mom and she answers. The fact that you are still dealing with all of this and you're so heavily involved after the breakup, ooh, I bet you were just so excited to cut ties. I get it's hard when kids are involved. For sure. Overall, my mom told him that she would deal with it when we're back. The next day, Mackenzie texts me this. I don't appreciate the context you texted me in. The last time I heard, you couldn't wait to marry your boyfriend, Austin, and we're not going to be disrespecting your relationship with him. But why are you still involved and inserting yourself in business pertaining to Colton? Your mom is his POA now, not you. I wouldn't suggest smashing his Xbox into pieces or anybody doing anything to it, causing it to not return in the condition I left it in. You know just as much as I do how Colton is about his crap. It's his. I don't see why it's so hard to return what's not rightfully theirs. I understand that C is a child, but where were the adults present when he thought it would be a good idea to come and get it? Going forward, I don't think it's best we have any communication at all. I've tried to be nice and cordial and and friendly, and here we are a year later on my birthday of you still inserting yourself in lives that you are no longer a part of. I replied with, well, when Colton himself and C are calling me, inserting me into the situation on my vacation, I have a problem and I will say what I want. Both of y'all need to grow the F up. I'm getting on a boat. Peace out. The cruise is peaceful. We get back on April 12th. My mom receives the POA paperwork in the mail, signed by Colton. She is legally in charge of everything he owns, everything that's on his property. He kept my wicker set all of this time, and it was finally the perfect opportunity. Mackenzie works nights, and she leaves around 4 p.m. I get off work at 5 p.m., same as my mom. When we're off work, we grab my mom's truck, and we take back what's mine. Mackenzie's gonna flip out. I just know it. Legally, we can do this. Did Colton know this was happening? No. Did I care? Not a smidge. We grab what's mine, a wicker set, my other camping chair, my Yeti cooler, which is $325 value, and my hand-painted Milwaukee decor table. My mom texted Mackenzie letting her know that we had taken the wicker set and replaced it with another one. Mackenzie immediately told Colton. He decided to call the cops on my mom for stealing. She is the POA. She can't steal anything. However, the very nice deputy wanted this to be civil and just asked that we return some of the poles that I had taken as Colton instructed, and all would be fine. Easy enough. Colton instructed the poles to be laid up against the garage. We took everything Friday. Cops were called on Saturday, and Sunday I would go to return them. We laid them up on the garage door. It was over. Everything had been returned. This was the end. Nope. Of course not. My mom called me the next day saying she had a missed call from the police department. Mackenzie called the cops on my mom for trespassing, not legally possible for 2 reasons. 1, she's POA, and 2, she never stepped foot on the property after the initial retrieving of my belongings. My boyfriend and I returned the poles, and that was instructed by the homeowner. She was just trying to stir up drama, which failed. At this point, Colton is not letting my mom make the financial decisions when it comes to his bank account. My mom wants Mackenzie to have no access, as Colton had $12,000 at the beginning of January and had about $5,000 left come April. My mom ended up deciding to cancel the POA. Thank God, honestly. She told him that she was done helping. She blocked Mackenzie. She blocked Colton's jail number. She sent Jessie, which is Colton's dad's girlfriend, the instructions on how to cancel a POA, and she cleaned her hands of it. This was in the beginning of May. May was peaceful. No contact from absolutely anybody. And then June 9th, I'm sitting at work checking emails. My AirPods are playing music. It's almost 2 o'clock. My music stops and the ringtone is playing. I'm getting a call. It's a 765 number, which is our area code. It's not listed as spam, so I answer, "Hello? Hey, it's Mackenzie." I sighed out loud and I replied with, "What do you want?" in a defeated voice. She gave me an instant attitude. "I actually don't want anything from you. Do you want this desk from the shed?" "No. Why would I?" "Because you took everything else that wasn't yours." I told her no multiple times. I explained the situation as if she wasn't there, that they were my belongings. I said to her that Colton would not give me them when I left. I wanted them back. I also proved receipts, and then I told her to leave me alone. She said that she would call my mom. I said that she has her blocked. She replied with, "I can call blocked numbers, biatch," and hung up. My mom didn't answer, so she called me back. I answered. She yelled. Randomly, she goes, "What's your boyfriend's name?" I did not respond. She proceeds to say his first and last name, and she replies with, "I'm going to send people his way. And remember, I know where your mom lives too." I ask, "Is that a threat?" She says, "That's a promise." I never told her his name, so she must have gone through my social media to find it. That threat didn't sit right with me. When she isn't sober, she can be an issue, as she has tried breaking into Colton's house once when we changed the locks after one of the domestic disputes. So I called my boyfriend and my mom, and they both thought a restraining order would be best at this point for the threats and harassment. My mom got the ball rolling by calling the non-emergency police phone number. An officer came to her work and talked to her. He then came to mine and was there around 4 p.m. He suggested a protective order through the Women's Help Center would be best, request. We got all the information for that. There's a case number ID that I have submitted all the text messages with her for the evidence. He asked if going over to talk to her would help. I said it depends on if she's sober. I'm not sure if it was that night or if he woke her up the next morning, but on Thursday, June 11th, I'm standing in my manager's office and my phone gets a text. Her number. The text reads, "You're a dumb ass biatch." I don't reply. I call the Women's Help Center and I give them my information to start the protective order. While I wait to hear back on the PO, I am now just enjoying the Florida weather. I don't have high hopes that this will be the end, so I presume there will be an update. Girl, please, for your sake and for everyone else's sake, I hope to God there's no update. Let's clean our hands, wish each other the best, and move on. Move on. I feel like some of you guys may have gone through something similar with exes and co-parenting and new people coming into new relationships. I can only imagine the chaos that can come from that, especially if it's toxic relationships. So let me know your opinions on everything, okay? I will see you guys in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. Bye.